Oh, bugger. Bugger. Forgot to put. Oh, be quiet. What's that? Oh, dear me. Forgot to kill the glass, darlings, and never mind. Never mind. Oh, might as well do the lot, hadn't we? In for a penny, in for, as they say, quite rightly, a pound. Right, let's get on with this, shall we? Let's try and bring an element of professionalism to the doings tonight. Good evening, darlings, and a very warm welcome indeed to whatever day it is, Wednesday. A very warm welcome indeed to Wednesday Night Live. And it is an enormous joy to be here with you. Thank you so much to all 32 and counting of you for giving your time to me and the community tonight. We Bogs are brightened and enriched by your very presence, and I don't say that lightly. Oh, it's up. I got it. As the bishop said to the actress, I got it up. Fair play to me. I got it up earlier this afternoon, darlings. Sky rockets in flight, afternoon delight. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Where was I? Yeah, it's nothing less than a sheer orgasmic joy to be here with you. And I'm so looking forward to waving away Wednesday and welcoming in Thursday in your fine and splendid company. Because quite honestly, you are the ultimate top of the range, just busting community. Honestly, if you were a brand new car, you would have all of the options ticked, no matter how expensive they were. And I think that's wonderful. So, over the space of the next hour, we've got all of the normal stuff. We've got Hedgehogs of Truth. We've got Sean's box that is demanding a vigorous pounding. And it's not going to be disappointed, darlings. Oh, yes, I got it up. I'm feeling orgasmic, and there's a vigorous pounding coming on. Oh dear, is it going to be one of those nights? And of course, we have got the community portable electronic telephonic device upon which you can, and frankly, should leave a voice note for your fellow community members or me or somebody in particular, or you can do what you want, basically. I mean, it's a free bloody country, isn't it? Naturally, I would love to hear about your day, how you're doing. We all need to know what you've been eating. I think that goes without saying. And any other information you would like to throw our way. Other than that, I've got an idea what I might talk about a little bit tonight, and I'm going to ask for your input on some things, possibly. So there we are. There we are. So, in the tradition of these things, I shall have a goodly slurp of my lovely wine, and then I will fire into your comments, which are, as I think we all know and realize by this stage, very much the meat and potatoes of this bowl of tomato soup that we are all drinking whilst observing the correct etiquette. Remember, we're spooning away, we're bringing the, what's it called? Spoon, that's it. Tricky chaps, words. Cutlery, they can be tricky chaps as well. Well, anyway, you remember all of that. Right, so cheers, darlings. You're very good health. Bottoms up yours. And I say this with love, get stuffed. Mm. Oh, so nice. Now, I've got a bit of a head start tonight, I'll be honest, because I've already had a goodly slurp of wine at work. We had a little celebration today because we had the biannual surprise unannounced visit from the environmental health people, and I'm delighted to report that we have got yet another 5-star rating. So we had a little celebration. We had a momo each. Uh, we made fresh momo chutney and slathered our momo in it. And I brought some home. I brought some home, darlings. Look at that. Freshly made tonight. I've got two actually. Freshly made tonight, that was. And because it's freshly made, I'll bung it in the freezer. I like to have, I haven't got any stock of chutney in the freezer, and I like to have a couple, in case somebody pops round and I think, oh, we'll have a Momo lunch. Nice to have some chutney ready for it. Right, so let's get into the comments, shall we? First cab off the rank that I can see was the one and only Jimmy Quinn, who opened the conversation on batting with his traditional good evening, Boaty, and all. Very good evening to you. He was followed by Peter P., the Honourable Peter P., the lovely Stu. And Jimmy Quinn adds some extra information. He is on his new iPad Air M3 tonight. Well done, Jimmy. New iPad, that's a great day. Stu is apologising for if he offended anybody last night, and I'm sure nobody's taken any lasting offence. I certainly haven't, so don't worry about that, Stu. Good to have you with us. Shelley Denise is here, which is nothing less than a joy. Richard, the lovely Paulie Galtieri, good evening, Boaty, and everyone. Good evening, all, said Shelley. Then there are lots of hello. Oh, Bad Books, the lovely Mark has joined us. Skick is here. Now, glad you said this, Skick. Are we having your future hopes and plans tonight, Boat? Well, turning sideways alert. You can have Skick, but I would like to open it out a little and ask you and everybody else, what are your thoughts or what would your advice be? I'm going through a hard thinking session at the moment. Obviously, recent things have also prompted me to think a little bit harder. And I'm trying to decide, or I'm running a load of things through my mind, but we've kind of been discussing this a little while. I am stuck in a rut. I have to confess and acknowledge that. As I say, not entirely my own volition. I thought things were going to happen. They haven't happened yet. So, what do I want to do moving forward? Now, however long I've got left, please God, maybe a decent while, but who knows? It's a question of, time is precious, life is precious, make the most of it. So, what do I want to be doing? Do I want to be working in a restaurant 6 days a week? Or would I like a freer life um, where I do other stuff? And do I try and make a living off YouTube somehow? Or would that be sheer lunacy, given that I'm clearly not very good at it? And if I were to do that, do I jump in with both feet? Do I give up work and just start full-time YouTubing? Or do I try and find a way to transition from one to the other a bit more slowly and maintaining some kind of safety net? Or what? Or what? That's, yeah, that's what, yeah. Well, these are the questions that if you choose to, you can get involved with and offer an opinion or whatnot. So that brings us on to the subject of today's video. Um, some of you may have seen it. Some of you I know have, because you watched the premiere along with me, and I've had some interesting feedback from it, and thank you for that. I tried a couple of different things in today's video, trying to, because I don't want to be one of those people that says, look, I'll do this in the future, I'll do that in the future. I like to do things immediately. So there are certain things that I'm trying to do immediately to try and improve my content. Some of them are technical, um, in terms of usage of equipment and whatnot. Some of them. So in today's video, just a couple of little things. So I made a bit of an effort with the first 4 or 5 minutes. I tried to take some advice on board. I've been told by numerous people that don't get rid of the long meandering intros, the driving somewhere, the this, the that, the other. Start the video where you actually are, where the video is set, kind of thing. So I tried to do that. I made sure that I was in the very first shot, so that there's a connection with the content creator from the very beginning of the video. And I tried a couple of editing twiddly bits with the overlay of the music and the driving Nicki Minaj, and the title sequence moving into the video itself. I also tried to do something a little bit different on the outro. So instead of doing what I normally do, which is the drive home or sections of the drive home, and then saying goodbye outside the cottage, which you've all seen 54 million times before, I did the outro kind of on location, just immediately driving away, so that it was relevant to the content itself. And I tried doing the bits that other people do, with saying, tickle the like button, subscribe, more videos coming along, all of that sort of thing, which are perfectly reasonable things to do, I suppose. All the big boys do it. Harry's Garage does it, so why shouldn't I? Now, the stuff in the middle was crap. I mean, it was lovely scenery and whatnot, but in terms of YouTube content, it was crap. I was filming with, right, the one problem that I'm having is, let me remind you of my setup. So, I've got this DJI gimbal. I've got iPhone 16 Pro, that will fit in there. Microphone, blah, blah, blah. And then if I use the DJI app on the phone, then I've got some image stabilization, I've got some tracking and whatnot. The problem that I'm finding is, unless I'm in situ somewhere, then if I'm walking up a hill or a mountain or whatnot, or walking about in town, this is all just too bulky. It's too bulky to carry. It's too heavy to be holding out here for ages on end. It's not working. It's fine for the kind of stuff that I have been doing, but it just doesn't work well for the kind of stuff that I'm trying to do or looking to do in the future. Now, everybody that I know who does that kind of thing, walking videos, hiking videos, anything like that, they all use the same bit of kit. Sean uses it, Carol uses it, everybody seems to use it. And I think that I might have to try and go down that route too. The problem is it's bloody expensive, but it works. It it works. So yeah, if any of you are familiar with it, it's the DJI Pocket 3, and it's everybody uses them. Everybody uses them. It's it's a little thing. It's dead light. You can hold it out here all day. It's very clever. It does this, that, and the other. Um, the image quality is about the same as the iPhone 16. There aren't many discernible differences, but it's a lot easier to use. Some of the functionality is different, but the biggest thing is it's portable. It's properly portable. So if you're out walking or doing whatever, even if you don't have to be walking up a hill, you could just be walking around town or so on. You can it'll literally just slip in your pocket, so it's dead easy. And I think I'm going to have to look at trying to get one of those. But they are really, really expensive. Now, what I filmed today with was just my phone, which, oops, I've just taken a screenshot, which is my, it's an old iPhone 11, and I'm just doing it like that. But, you know, you've got no gyro, you've got no gimbal, nothing like that. You need a gimbal for walking shots. And as I say, my gimbal is too big, too heavy, too cumbersome for that kind of thing. It's brilliant to set up as a tripod, and you can do your tracking shots and all of that. But for walking, you need that gimbal that keeps a level picture, gives you the stabilization and the mobilization. You've got the functionality of the little joystick, so you can swivel the camera head, blah blah blah. It basically, the little Pocket 3 thing does everything that the big gimbal does, but it does it in a tiny little package. It's got its own screen. It's completely self-contained, and I think if I was going to try and do that kind of footage properly, then I'd have to find a way to get hold of one. Maybe an older model, the original one or the Pocket 2, and get one second hand, something like that. But yeah, honestly, I mean, this totally doesn't work, and it's a shame because today could have been a decent video. You know, it was a lovely day. It was amazing scenery, but in terms of watchability, it was pretty much spoiled by the the shaking about and whatnot. So, but I'm not bothered about that. I'm not, but well, I mean, I am, but I'm not too bothered about that in terms of today's video, because today's video was to try and do a better intro and outro, and I thought I did. But I'd love to know what you thought. I've had some feedback, and oh, thank you, Peter P. Oh, bless him. Peter P's just PayPal'd a tenner towards the Osmo Pocket. There we go. Bless you. Thank you, mate. Another 60 of those and we're sorted. They are bloody expensive. Not as expensive as the iPhone, in fairness, but still not cheap. Anyway, back to your comments. Andrew Buttigieg has joined us and greets everybody by name as per. Then there are loads of hellos and whatnot flying around. Matron joins us and says, good evening, all. Excuse me, it's the standard live stream frog in throat. Steve McDonald is here. Hi, everyone. Hello to you. Good evening, Boaty. He says, a jolly good evening to you. He's put the blue plaque up, says Richard. I have. And I think it looks absolutely great. So many thanks again for that. Let's get Boaty's door covered in signage, says Richard. I quite like it. I quite like the idea of having that feature door. Now, people said put it outside. There's a limit as to how weird I'm going to allow the neighbours to think I am. Some people said put it on the fridge. No, I don't want it spreading everywhere, but I love it on the door. Have I left the outside light on? I think I might have. Hold on. Oh, I did. I really do love it on that door there. I think it's interesting. It hits you straight away as you walk in. So when you walk into the room, and I'm a very lonely man living a hermit life in the arse end of nowhere, so not many people do walk in. But I walk in. I walk in every morning when I come down from bed. I walk in every night when I come in from work, and it's nice to just be hit by that immediately. And then the rest of the kitchen, I like that to just be normal. Oh, just had a thought. I'll come to that later. So yeah, thank you again. Thank you to Richard for my tourist sign. Thank you to me for my little bit of history of living in France. Thank you to Big Tall Steve for that. And I love that. That's lovely. And metal as well. Yeah. And thank you to Diane for the most recent addition to the Door of Dreams. My lovely blue plaque. I adore that. I love those. I love those. And I really am grateful. Oh, what's this? John Stoodley has been a Momo and Chutney member for no fewer than 15 months. Thank you, John. Another great video, Boaty. Keep it up, mate. Oh, that's really kind. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It looks good there, to be honest, says Richard. I think it does. I think it does. And as I say, if the door were to fill up, then I thought this chap here would sit very well up there, because those two, the tourist sign and the blue plaque, they would fit very well together. Like they're in keeping with each other. I don't just mean because of their size or colour. I mean, they're kind of in keeping, aren't they? So that would work well. Anyway, blue plaque installed, and he's not even an engineer. Exactly. Black Lines has joined us. Jolly good evening to you. Emma Lemon of the Eponymous YouTube channel, Emma Lemon says, good evening. I'm bloody freezing. Still no heating. Oh, that is a nightmare. That is a nightmare. But is it on the wonk? It had better bloody not be. I worked hard to keep that unwonked. The lovely Trisha Alderman is with us. Greets everybody by name. Good evening, and good evening to Paul too. Good evening to you both. Thank you for your company. Thank you all for your company. I love your company, and I love each and every one of you. Thank you. I don't say that enough, do I? I should say it a lot more. Maybe I should burst into tears every now and then, or no, don't say that. Don't say what you were just going to say then. For God's sake, have some propriety. You don't get a blue plaque on Hobnut, says Richard. He doesn't deserve one. He's closer to one than he's got the thing that you get from YouTube for 100,000 subscribers. God, I can't see me getting one of those. He got it up, says Mark, in Boaty's erection section. Emma explains the heating broke 3 days ago, still awaiting a letting agent sending an engineer. I wouldn't stand for that. I wouldn't stand for that. I would insist on going to a hotel. Happened to me. It happened to me in the very early days of Windy Bum, when my water pressure was too high, and I do mean in the cottage, not in my bladder. And I was left without heating. And I said, well, it's the middle of winter. I can't stay in a house with no heating. This is to the letting agent. I said, I need to go to a hotel. And they said, "Oh, right, yeah, I suppose you do, don't you? Um, uh, Try and make it a reasonably priced one." Uh, and Yeah, and they agreed to put me up at. I could have just gone to the what used to be the Premier Inn. It no longer is the Highwoman. But I said no. There's a beautiful hotel which is not far from here. I forgot what it's called now. It used to be the Red Lion at Stanage. Um, oh God, it's they're on the verge of a Michelin star for their restaurant. It's amazing, and they agreed to put me up there. And stupidly or loyally, I didn't go. I stayed here. There was something that said that dear old because and this was I think this was the first year that I was here. Within the first 4, 5, 6 months that I was here, but you got to remember that although I didn't want to move in here, I fell in love with it on day one. And I thought, I can't, this is where it gets silly. I thought, I can't abandon Windy Bum. If Windy Bum's going through it, I will go through it too. And it was only one night. It was only one night. The engineer came the next morning. Um, but yeah, I stuck it out. I remember doing it because I didn't want to abandon Windy Bum. And I like to think that Windy Bum appreciated it and has looked after me since. It's the night of cheeky wings, double entendre, and slips of the tongue, says Matron. Woodstock joins us. Jolly good evening to you. Don't forget to like, says Jimmy Quinn. Oh, when me and 19, we had 71 on Monday. My God. 60 people watching there. That's jolly nice. We're all under electric blankets, says Emma, except Little Lemon, who's wearing extra clothes and has an extra blanket. Oh, that's terrible. Oh, skick. Right. And we get on to food news, courtesy of Mark, Bad Books. Breakfast was peanut butter. Oh, God, here we go. This hurts me. This physically causes me pain. Can I get through it without correcting him? Because it's disrespectful. It's not for me to say what somebody else should call their meal just because I happen to be right. It's a cultural thing and a regional thing, and I should respect that, and I'm going to try to. Breakfast, says Mark, was peanut butter on toast. Dinner was chicken salad. Tea tea was a cheeky Chinese, special chow mein and sweet and sour chicken balls. I did it. I did it. Yay for me. And I am having Chinese tonight because I've run out of staff curry. We didn't make any staff curry last weekend. It was a Nepali thing and everybody had to be vegan. Um, so we didn't have any staff curry. And uh, uh, and I've managed to completely deplete my freezer stock. That's a lot. I've got one portion left, but I never allow myself to have none. Um, I have to have at least one. So, so tonight and tomorrow night, I'm going to have to actually make food from scratch. So tonight, I'm going to make Chinese chicken curry with fried rice. And I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Worry about that tomorrow. God, wine's a wonderful thing. Good to be here, says Josh, and it's damned good to have you. Good evening to one and all, he goes on. Where did we get to? Richard says, the way Hedgie looks miserable and self-righteous, like Hubner, when Boaty is talking. Oh, I do love Hedgie, and I do love Miss Hedgie. I'm glad they're part of my life. Oh, excuse me. Oh, oh, oh. A credit card should get you a grand's worth of epic equipment, says Steve. I don't need a grand's worth. I need, well, if I was buying it new, I need 600 quid's worth. I think it's 600 quid or maybe a little bit less. But nobody in their right mind would give me a credit card. Ross says, oh, hello, Ross. Hey, all, how are we? Yep, not a fan of hiking videos. I much prefer car content, but that's just me. Well, we can possibly move on then to my plans for tomorrow's video. Now, I need to do some, when this finishes at midnight, I need to get straight on and do some research because there's no video going out tomorrow. That's something else I need to talk about the frequency of the videos. I've been advised not to put out a video every day, but to put out a better video every other day or every third day. And it's been suggested that that works better with the algorithms and whatnot. How true that is, I don't know. But what I do know is that as long as I'm working full time, or working, every day at the restaurant, it's really difficult to get a video out every day, and they end up being crap ones. They end up being you're driving to work or whatnot, because when you've only got so many hours in the day, fitting them in around work, then you kind of need time to edit the previous day's video, but you also need to film the next day's video, as well as doing all of your normal stuff that we all have to do in life: washing up, laundry, making the beds, hoovering, dusting, all of that. And there just aren't enough hours in the day. Whereas if you do one every other day, then you can edit one day, film. I'm going to sneeze. Then you can edit one day, film the next. So today, I put quite a lot of work into today's edit. Most of it at the beginning, to be honest. If you really obsess over getting an edit right, and you obsess over combining 3 or 4 different things simultaneously, like a music fade, a picture fade, a title sequence, blah blah blah, then it can take ages and ages and ages just to get a few seconds worth of finalized footage. Excuse me, need to blow my nose now after sneezing. And if you're really trying to do it seriously and properly, then, and I'm learning this at the moment, I've got a really good edit suite. Have I ever shown you the edit suite? Let me know if you would like to have a look at my edit suite. Maybe you don't do any content creation yourself, and maybe you'd like to see what an edit suite looks like. Let me know and I'll show you. I've probably shown you in a video before. What was I saying? Yeah. So what I'm also starting to do now is really, if you're editing properly, then the footage that you've got off your camera, that should be a starting point. That shouldn't be the finished object. So, for example, take a look at the beginning, near the beginning of today's video, and the shot of the black lamb. Now, you might think that that was the camera moving and then zooming in on the lamb. It wasn't at all. That was a static widescreen shot. And I did all of that in the edit. So the camera was literally just, it was a still shot of that field of sheep. And all of the effects, the panning right, the zooming in, that was all done in the edit. And you can and probably should do that in every single scene. And I've started to do that. You might notice that at the very beginning of the video, when I was doing the piece to camera, then the scene was split in two. There was a zoom in on the first split. There was a very slight zoom out on the second split. Now, all of that kind of thing, if you do it properly, and I'm sure I'm not doing it properly yet, though I'm going to try and learn how to, it can work very well. You don't even realize that you're seeing it. It just works well with the eye and the brain. I've started watching proper stuff like Clarkson's Farm, The Grand Tour, all of that sort of thing, but with a different eye. I'm trying to watch it with an editor's eye and thinking, right, that scene worked there, and that's what they did with it. And trying to learn stuff and learn little editing tricks. My hand's looking better. That's nice, isn't it? So, but that all takes time. So, yeah. So, what was I saying all of that for? Oh, right. Yeah. So, there's no video coming out tomorrow because I've been editing today, haven't filmed anything. So, that means that tomorrow I don't have to edit anything. So, that means I can film. So, then I've got to think, right, what can I film that is worthwhile and is not just me driving to work or cooking chow mein or something? So, I need to do my research when I finish this, but my thought for tomorrow is a combination of things. Getting my fourth trig, because I want to keep this trig thing rolling, and I think I've got a trig in mind for tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day by all accounts as well, so factor that in. And then I'm thinking of tying that in with a Peugeot Picnic and some shopping. So, yeah, my semi-formulated plan that I need to check after I've researched is to head out tomorrow, bag a trig, go to Sainsbury's in Matlock, which is my favourite Sainsbury's, and then do a Peugeot Picnic in Sainsbury's car park and cook and make myself a nice burger. There you go. That's my idea for tomorrow. What do you think about that? Where did I get to with the old comments? How much Boaty says to you? Oh, how much what? Oh, the DJI camera. I think they're about 600 quid, maybe a little bit less. Emma says, I was looking at the DJI cameras this morning and I'm getting one. Oh, you lucky so-and-so. You can split the payments over several months and you get great mics too. Carol said hers doesn't even pick up wind noise on the top of mountains. I don't need that's the creator combo, Emma, but I don't need that. I only need the camera. I've already got the DJI microphone that comes with the creator combo, so I don't need two. I literally only need the camera itself. But I'm very jealous that you are getting one. Very jealous indeed. If I had the money, I wouldn't even think about it. I would just buy one in a heartbeat. Let's just see how much they actually are, shall we? Not the creator combo, just for the camera, not with the microphone chucked in. Have a look on good old eBay. Osmo Pocket 3. Bloody hell, they are expensive. They're nearly 500 quid second hand. Christ. Yeah, you're looking at about 600 quid. You're looking at about 600 quid. How much have I got in my 1p savings pot? £26.28 in the 1p savings pot. However, the goal is £667.95p. So maybe if I can't do it beforehand, maybe that's what my birthday money next year should be. Buying myself the camera thing. Yeah, that's a thought, isn't it? I could do that. I could do that. But Emma, I am jealous. But yeah. So when you get it, let me know what you think of it. Is it worth the big old money? I know the mics are good because, well, I've already got one, so I know how good the mics are. On the Never Never is the way to go, says Stu. I've got a shit credit rating. I've had a crap credit rating ever since Chinese Madam screwed me up. And on the wall, number plates from around the world, says Andrew. I used to do that. Oh, John Stoodley says hello to everyone. Is it Friday yet? Ask Ollie Owls, my mate Steve. Hello, Steve. Thank you for your feedback on the video and in particular the music. I'm getting really good feedback on the music from today's video. Apart from one person, Mustard, he hated it, absolutely hated it. Don't forget to like, shouts Jimmy Quinn. 52 watching and only 22 likes. The headmistress joins us. Lovely Diane Sturdy. Hello, my lovely. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jim Bob is here as well. Hello, people. Hello, Jim Bob. Great to have you. Where do we? Blah, 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 blah. Scratch built food. Who'd have thunk it? So, you see, I cook properly occasionally. Not even Capital One, says Stu. Okay. Capital One are the exception. I do have a Capital One credit card, but my credit limit is £200. The lowest credit limit they make available. I only got it to try and improve my credit rating, in all honesty. As counterintuitive as it sounds, the best way apparently to improve your credit rating is to take out credit, on the understanding that you actually pay it. So I've got a Capital One credit card. I've got a £200 credit limit on it. I use it probably once a month and pay it at the end of the month to try and start rebuilding my credit. But they they haven't lifted my what's it called, credit limit yet. So there's no buying a camera on that. Don't forget to buy a Corby trouser press, says Richard, and I keep forgetting to do that. How many cigarettes today? Asks Woodstock. Today I am an ex-smoker, but yesterday I really wasn't. Yesterday I well and truly fell off the wagon. So I'm not making any statements or promises. Yesterday I was the DJI mics are brilliant. I do recommend them to everybody. yesterday. I was a non-smoker yesterday until I got that bloody telephone call. Today I've been good. Tomorrow, who knows? Who knows? A community post is always welcome if you aren't up to making a video. Post anything, no matter how big or small. See, what I should do is when I can't put a video up, I should just do a silly little video, just a hello or whatever. And I should put it up for members only. Now, there's a reason for doing that. It's not because I want to rob non-members of anything, but if you the thing is, if you put up a video that doesn't perform well, that's why I had to stop doing Boaties and Oshes. uh, a handful of people loved Boaties and Oshes, and I love doing them. Burp. I did love doing them, but they were hurting me so badly in the algorithm, because if you have videos on your channel that don't do well, that only pick up 30, 40, 50 views, uh, the algorithm says, right, well, this channel is shit, so we won't show any of the videos. And that's why I had to stop doing Boaties and Oshes. And that's why I can't just put up a little video saying blah, 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 blah. But if you put it as a members only, it doesn't count in the algorithm things. It's accepted that members only videos are going to get fewer views, so they don't factor into the algorithm deciding oh god, my hands are really starting to clear up. I think that's good. That's good. Oh, this psoriasis, this latest thing has been horrible, but I've hated it on my hands most of all. Anyway, where did we get to? Are we supposed to do housework, says Jim Bob? I wasn't aware. Matron says, yeah, apparently we are, Jim Bob. Matron says a better video every 2 or 3 days is better than a mediocre vid every day. Just film bits and bobs as you go every day, and then pop the bits together for a really decent vid every couple of days. Steve says, I predict Boaty wins Ford in a bed in 2027. Yeah, I don't know what that is, but show us your doings, Boaty, says Peter P. Yes, I agree, says Shelley. Show us. Oh, what? You're talking about, right, is that the edit suite? Okay, I'll show you my edit suite. Happy to do that. Now, I edit on iPad. I have 2 iPads. This is the latest one. This is the one before the latest one. I edit on my latest one because it's a little bit bigger. I should have gone for the Pro in hindsight. And when I next upgrade my iPad, because these are on contract, so I get upgrades every 2 or 3 years, whenever it is. My next upgrade, I will go Pro. I didn't go Pro because I thought it's too big. I had to look at a mate's Pro, and I thought it's too big. And if I need bigger, I've got my MacBook. But in hindsight, I should have gone Pro. So this is what I do my editing on, and this is my edit suite. So, right, it's still got today's video on there actually. So for those of you who are interested, so that's my edit suite. Looks quite simple. It's actually really, really quite complicated when you get into things. So if I with that so this is your timeline here. Obviously that's the picture there. Can you see that? and there's quite a lot of stuff that you kind of need to be across. So you've got multiple things on your timeline, because this one's actually quite a simple one, but you'll often have 4 or 5 elements going on at the same time. The purpley things are transitions. They all need to be individually programmed and controlled. So here's today's video. So you've got a dip fade at the beginning, going into the piece to camera. There you can see the audio, and the audio needs to be individually controlled there. And yeah, that all needs to be buggered about with. So all of these are just in relation to the audio. On this one clip, all of those need to be jiggered about with. And there are, oh God, I mean, that was just the audio. So you've got, you can see all of the things that you can and should play about with. Oh, hello, darlings, and you join me on the edge of the Peak District. So, and then you're throwing in titles, fades. You need to play with the audio. You need to play with it. So on these as well. So on that shot there, let me show you. Hold on. Right. So on this scene here, then I've got. If you look closely. See how it's zooming in? So I'll put a zoom in on that one. Then on the next shot, have a look at that closely. And that's actually got a zoom out. Oh, and let me show you the one I was talking about with the sheep. Right, this was all done in the edit. So this is where it starts to get a little bit complicated. So you've got this scene, which I've jiggered about with this, that, and the other. It's going on a zoom out, and then you've got on an underplay, you've got the music coming in, and then you're going into a fade and moving into another scene. And then this shot here looks so simple. It's only there for a second or something. But that took ages and ages and ages to do, because you have to program it to. So just watch that bit. Oh, what happened there? Oh, God. The danger of pressing the wrong thing. Let's try again. Roll beating. That took so long to do. I mean, it probably doesn't help that I'm not very good at it, but oh, look at it now. You can't see it at all, can you? Oh, yeah, you really can't see that at all. That was all a waste of time. Sorry about that. Jim Bob says, I fancied some pancakes today, so I did some, and while I was there, I baked some scones, and they were lovely. The pancakes were a bit thick, but hey-ho. I use Power Director Pro for my videos, Boaty, says John Stoodley. Good for you. Emma says, I haven't placed an order for the camera yet, but this morning I was having a good look and contemplate. I get very frustrated at the quality of my footage. I did today. I did think that could have been a really good video today, were it not for the actual footage on the hills. I love making films, so might as well invest. It's tough, Boat says Skik. Maybe start with an extra night off work, put some extra effort in the videos, and be willing to come out of your comfort zone now and again. Those are all options on the table, Skick. Hello, Asparagus Munchers, says dear old Captain Mustard. What's in the box, asked you? I've got no idea how much is in the box at the moment. It's quite weighty. I think the starting point is the time issue goes on, Skick. I agree, actually. I agree. Yeah. I mean, what I can tell you is that I'm having at least one Tuesday off, and it will be Tuesday, the 1st of April. I talked about having Tuesdays off completely, and they kind of said, oh, well, no, that wouldn't work for this, that, and the other. But if my mindset goes in a particular way, then I will simply say, I'm not working on Tuesdays, and I'll try and help them cover that. And if they say, well, you know, if you're not going to work Tuesdays, then don't work here, full stop, then I'll just say, yeah, okay, go with it. But I need some Tuesdays off at least, because we covered this the other night. There's only so much you can do when you only get that one night. Hi all, been listening to all the live, says Lee, the lovely Lee Jean. Hope all are in fine form. Beautiful day here in Tasmania. We hope you're well. It's lovely to see you. Boaty, when do you have to go back to the dock? Oh, Christ, don't go there. I'm being hammered from all sides. I might as well move into the bloody doctors, and now I've got the hospital in Sheffield on at me as well. So when am I back there? When am I not back there? I'm getting multiple appointments made, left, right, and centre. So God only knows what's wrong. Nobody's actually told me what's wrong with me yet. But judging from the amount of frenetic action there is about having to do this and that and the other at the doctors, at the hospital, then I can only conclude that I'm going to be lucky if I last 3 weeks, because they all seem very anxious to get hold of me and make sure that they're right in what they think, that what's apparently going to polish me off any moment. Bloody hell, it's mad. That's true, Emma. I do live streams every night, which fill in the gaps between videos. Oh, I'm glad you get in there, Lee. But yeah, it sounded horrendous. Well, I mean, it was horrendous. It was horrendous, not that it sounded. I guess that the channel would benefit by removing all low viewing videos then. I don't know how far back they go. So I think they don't go back into your back catalogue, because, you know, even the biggest channels had low views to start with, but they take, as I understand it, they take each video. So if you get a video that performs well, your next video will be shown to more people. If you get a video that performs badly, and maybe they take the last 4 or 5 or something. So, yeah. Oh, a brick called Wilfred is totally safe. I watched that the other day. I watched that, and it was good, actually. Bargearse. I need to watch Bargearse. Nobody's mentioned Bargearse. I've just thought I need to watch it. Right, we have reached midnight, darlings, and it is time to say good night. So start saying good night, darlings, because I've got research for tomorrow's video to do. No voice notes, Nobody has told me to pound the box, but I will pound it anyway. Because I know that it... Oh, hang on. We say no voice notes. One has just pinged in. Oh, and it could be a good one. It's from Finland, darlings. You know what that means.
Hello. Good evening, Boaty.
Good
Or
evening.
should I say mountain goatee? Shut up. I see you've discovered climbing up things.
Yes.
Makes a difference from falling off them.
Yes.
You didn't see that one coming. Pet.
Yeah.
As the Liverpudlian said to the Reverend. So, chapeau, up yours and get stuffed. You absolute legend. Fine. I'm coming, Barbara. Little minx. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Chapeau. I love that. My favorite phrase, chapeau. If you're not familiar with conversational French, then chapeau will have no meaning to you. But it's well done on putting that one in there, Peter P. And I tell you what, it's a bit late now because I do need to get off and do this research for tomorrow. But tomorrow we'll have a catch up on Peter P's voice notes. We haven't done it for a few nights, and God knows they deserve it. And that one was well up to speed. Let's get the box pounded, shall we? So we can tick that box. 1 box, 1 pound, 1 pounding. 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, no, we've got another one. Oh, God. Oh, hell's teeth. Okay, this could be dodgy.
Boaty, before you leave, why are you online? I know it's late, so you can't be at a gay bar, but there is a thing called Grindr or whatever gay app is popular over there. Go find someone. Go find someone, sir.
Yeah, I know.
Have a great night.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't say it. He didn't actually say it. He wasn't graphic. That's unusual. Thank you, Ben. Always good to hear from you. Oh, dear. Is the editing all with it for the money YouTube pays you? I presume you mean worth it, Ross. No. No, not at the moment. But if you want to earn decent money on YouTube, you need to put out decent content. And that means you need to make the effort to improve your content. So, and maybe it will never be worth it. For a lot of people, YouTube is never worth the effort they put in financial terms. But you do get satisfaction out of putting out better videos. It's quite enjoyable. Many of us like to try and do things better just for the sake of it. Could you find the equipment you need on eBay, says Shelley? Yeah, I was literally just looking, but Christ, it fetches virtually the same price as when it's brand new. I would have thought having over 100k subs would be the only way to do YouTube full-time, says Russ. Nobody I know has ever done that. Hubner had less than 10,000 subscribers when he went full-time. And James was the same. Many other people were the same. The thing is that, and this is where it becomes a bit of a leap of faith, is that for a lot of people, you can't make a full-time living from YouTube unless you do YouTube full-time. Because if you try to do YouTube around a full-time job, then you don't have the possibility of doing what you need to do in order to make YouTube a full-time living. So, for example, if you're a van life channel, if you are, pick any van life channel you want to pick. I'm sure many of you will watch them. Then you're never going to make a living off YouTube if if your content is, well, I'm not doing any van life, I'm just going to work. You need to be free to go off and do your van life thing and be somewhere different every day. Well, I mean, look at Carol, for example. Or Sean, or our friends, the people that we know. You can't make a living, or it's difficult to try and make a living off YouTube, where if you're going to work, you need to have that free time to film, to do the stuff, and to then film the stuff that you're hoping will make you a living on YouTube. And it's kind of, if you don't make that jump, then you'll never know if you could have done it or not, because you've never tried to do it. Does that make sense? I mean, I'm just trying to think. There are exceptions, like Blot, who I haven't watched now for about a year, but you know who I'm talking about, Blot. He used to have a night off work, make a video, and he did all right with it. But then, as soon as he could, he gave up work and started doing it 3 times a week or 4 times a week, and earned even more money. It's difficult when you work full time. It's difficult, and there's no guarantee that if you had all the time in the world, you might still be a crap YouTuber. But if you've got all day, every day to do stuff, to make content, to edit it, to do it, you've got a lot more chance of making a living from it than if you're trying to do it around a full-time job and maintaining a home and all of the other things that we all have to do. Don't drink and save money to buy your camera. Oh, God. Oh, Emma, the medical stuff. I'm going to try and keep as much of that away from the channel as possible. I know that you are all my friends, but I'm also aware that a friend in need is a pain in the ass. So I'm going to try and not talk about it and not reference it as much as possible. You make your bed, you've got to lie in it. And I've made certain life decisions, which means that I've ended up alone. Now you might say, you're not alone, you've got us, you've got this, you've got that. But you know what? The truth of the matter is, I'm alone. I wake up alone. I go to bed alone. I'm alone with my thoughts. Yeah, I get company at work. Yes, I get you guys company virtually. But the truth is, I am alone. And pivotally, when I go to the doctors, when I deal with that, when I'm going to the hospital, when I'm doing whatever I'm going to have to do in the future, I'm going to do it alone. So there you go. There you go. So that's one of the things that I've been thinking about. I've got to just, you make your bed, you lie in it. I've ended up alone, and I've got to roll with that. And I don't want to burden anybody else with any of the crap that I'm having to go through in real life or in my mind. It's going to creep in a bit, but I'm going to keep it out as much as possible. It's my problem. It's not anybody else's. I haven't got anybody. I haven't got any family. I haven't got any. I haven't got any close friends that are here, that are around me, with the except Mustard. I make the exception of Mustard, who has very definitely been around me. and has offered to be around me whenever I need him. So thank you for that. And I might take you up on it, so you might regret it. But yeah, other than that, I've ended up where I am. Got to take responsibility for that. And I'm not going to burden you lot with any. Not unless I do it by mistake or I absolutely have to do it. And then there are some good nights. Oh, fun stuff. Just in time indeed. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, Hubnut's getting a van, is he? What's going on with Hubnut? I've missed all of this. You're not alone when you have the hedgehogs. Mustard is a good one, bless him. Do you know what? Oh, and Mustard says you need to gamble your secure life into something you believe in, and it's frightening. It is. I had a lovely hug from Mustard on Monday, and I wish I'd made more of it because honestly, I feel very alone at the moment, more alone than I think I've ever felt. And what I need more than anything else, two things. I need a really good hug and a blowjob. Those would help. Anyway, there we are. There we are. There we are. Okay, darlings, it is time to go. It's past time to go. So, on that note, thank you so much for your company as always. It has been a blast. Let me wish you all a safe and peaceful night and a decent day ahead. I hope there's some pleasure in it to be taken from it. Oh, thank you, Carl. Thought today's video was cracking, made me want to go and explore the Peak District. So you're doing something right. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'd hug you until you wet yourself, says Peter P. Thank you, mate. Seriously, that's more than anything else. That I need a hug and a BJ. Yes, the simple things in life just do, oh, it'll be all right. It'll be all right. And you just sink into it and think, and just that warmth, that human touch, and something else to take your mind off it. Anyway, there we are. So, yeah. The candle will be relit tomorrow night, Thursday night live, same time, same place, 11 p.m. Join me if you can. I would really appreciate it. Thank you again for tonight. Oh, excuse me. Oh, God. Oh, I'm falling apart and I've got to go and cook. Oh, God. I've got to go and cook now. Dear me. Oh, it's a good job. I'm the best late night, slightly tipsy cook since Keith Floyd and Jennifer Patterson. All right, darlings. Much love from me. Can't wait to see you next time. So on that note, Pachoo, and indeed, you know it.